All right, what's going on, guys? So today we have the battery relocation kit from Dc5creations. We're gonna do a full detailed installation on it. For the most part, it is very simple, and what we actually gonna be doing is we're gonna be taking our stock battery from the stock location, and we are gonna be relocating it here underneath the passenger headlight. What this will allow us to do is to get rid of the battery obviously from here, but now that we're going turbo on our HN, it will give us room here for the intercooler piping. As you can hear here, normally the battery is over here, and as well we're going to be installing the charge harness, and then we'll go into details exactly how to cover about that. In case you do have any questions, I will be covering it. So the very first thing that you are going to have to do, and the very sadly thing, is we have to get rid of our window reservoir. It will not work keeping here, so we are not able to put the battery here on this side because, as you can see here, we have the intercooler piping, and so the only reason we have the battery on this side, because again, it's very difficult, and just about everybody wants to go turbo at least eventually, or supercharger, and all the pipings get routed that way. As you can see here, we have the intake and the exhaust, so it's really impossible to put a battery over here. It just wouldn't work. So the best spot is here. Yes, you have to relocate, well, not relocate, you have to delete the actual reservoir. Now I do have batteries trays that go on the trunk. That'll be a full separate video. So if you do want to keep the reservoir, and that's something very important to you, that you don't want to get rid of it, so just know that I do sell batteries for the trunk. Okay, they're specifically for the HN and the RSX, all in general. But anyways, so today we're going to be covering the installation on this, and I'll show you step by step what you actually got to do. Guys, so we're going to go ahead and put the battery on. Be mindful, we do have spacers here, so those spacers actually going to go something like this. You can see here, and that is going to be just, oh, there you go. So it's going to be, so I'm going to have to do this off camera, but I'm just going to show you. So it's going to be something like that. Okay, and then the Allen key that you need is going to be a number 4. Okay, so go ahead and look at that. So we're gonna go ahead and do both of them, and after I'll show you how to do the bottom ones. But they're gonna be directly going to that bolt right there, and then the other one, let's see if you can see here, the camera right there, you can see it. All right, guys, so here we go. You can see here we got the bolt on right here, and as well as the other one. Now I have moved the battery tray all the way forward. I am not gonna be running fog lights, so it doesn't matter for me. So do be mindful. If you do have fog lights, you can adjust this back and forth. You can just gotta find the sweet spot that it clears the fog light, and it also clears the tire. One thing I do want to mention is they do clear fender liner, but it's a very, very tight fitment, but it does. Another thing is, a lot of people think this thing sits below the subframe. You will first take out the subframe before you even take out the battery tray, and go higher, and you really don't want to go any lower. So do be mindful. It is a very, very tight fitment to put the battery tray here. This was never designed to be here. A lot of people don't understand that concept. Is we have, you know, modified the cars to accept this kind of battery tray here. So keep that in mind, that it was never meant to be here. Okay, a lot of people do put the battery here, but just keep that in mind. So next thing is gonna be, so since we just have those 2 bolts there, it is very heavy on the tray, and it could snap. So what we actually design is, we're actually gonna put this piece like this, and that's gonna go to a 17mm bolt on the subframe, and it's gonna be 2 bolts here on the side. And it's a very simple way to keep all the stress from just the 2 bolts. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and slide this on the back, and then I'm gonna show you how that actually is gonna look. Okay, so the battery is gonna sit just like this. So like I said, make sure you don't tighten the bottom bolt, the 17 right there. Make sure you leave that loose. And what we're actually gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and push it over. I'm actually just gonna have to kick it, because I don't think I got enough strength right here the way I'm sitting. So you can see here. So there you go, and it's right on it. Okay, so to slide it back out, you can see it comes right out. Obviously, to push it, you are gonna have to, you know, you can see. So it is not the best thing to do like this, but guys, believe me, there's very to no room to go down, because a lot of people want to keep the fender liner. Okay, so we could have went down another 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, but then again, the fender liner don't fit, and a lot of people do want to keep fender liner. Mind this, we already have done this with a car that does a fender liner, and this is the best we could do. Just push it down a little bit, that's cool, but at least you're able to keep your fender liner on your car if you wish to do so. So now that we have that, obviously I haven't tightened the Allen bolts right there, but if you would, you will go ahead and tighten the 17mm bolt right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the battery out, tighten everything up, and show you how that looks after, okay? And then the last little piece, we're gonna go ahead and put this on. And this is pretty much to keep the battery from hitting up and down or eventually come out. So we're gonna go ahead and put this be the last piece. All right, guys, so I'm gonna quickly show you, I know I already showed you with the battery, but quickly show you how it looks here with the 17mm bolt loosen up. And this is exactly how you want to have it. As you can see here, it moves a little bit. So once you put the battery, go ahead, actually before you put the battery, make sure you tighten this up, right? And then the last one's gonna be this. So as of right now, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this too, throw the battery on, and then tighten the 17 in the back, and that is to secure everything tightening, okay? So this is gonna be the best thing without having any struggles of the battery coming on and off. Guys, so we are completely secure now. So you can see here, got the 17 fully tight, and we got the 210 fully tight as well. So the last little piece that we have to do is that bracket that goes up top. It's right over here. So it's very simple as well to put this one. You just got to fish it in just like that, and we're gonna go ahead and lock it in. And then now we just gotta obviously put a little bit of flashlight there and line up the 10mm bolt. So we'll go ahead and do that. And after, the very last thing we're gonna do is gonna be the charge harness. That's a little bit interesting. If you've never done a little bit of wiring, don't stress it. It's very, very simple to do that. And it's gonna clean up the bay a huge amount of a cluster mess that could be there. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then after we're gonna be running the charge harness wiring. All right, guys, so here we have the charge harness wiring, and it's a very simple layout, and it took a very long time trying to figure out the best way to route this and clean up the engine harness. So first of all, we have the battery ground. Okay, we have a transmission ground, and here we have all the other charge harness, as it will replace some of the mess that I will show here in a second. But it is very simple layout, and the way I have figured it out over the years. Quickly, sorry here about the little, but I just want to put this right for you guys so you guys can understand how it's actually going to work. All right, so we have the wiring here. This will go to your fuse box, okay? And then here, it even comes pre-labeled. I take my time putting this stuff on for you. So this will go to your alternator. You can see here, okay? And then from your alternator, you can see, after leaving a boot cover, to your starter. Very, very simple. I hope it's not that confusing, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how everything's gonna be laid out. So again, to your fuse box, alternator, starter. That is it. And I'm gonna show you what you need to take apart on the OEM charge harness to route this, okay? So I think it's very self-explanatory. Like I said, I even label everything. I didn't have a label before, so I'm very happy here to put a new video for you guys and show you exactly what you need to do. So we're gonna go ahead and start routing everything and show you step by step. So we're gonna go ahead and finish routing the charge harness and exactly what you're gonna need to do. You are gonna need to remove the actual T-bar. You do not have to actually remove this piece right here. I just removed it because we are going to be actually replacing this whole piece. So I will highly recommend to just remove it, put it to the side when we're going to be installing, well, both installing the charge harness. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect that one. That's for your compressor, your alternator, and then the starter right here is going to be a 10mm. And then we're also going to disconnect the starter, and there is another plug here, and then there's another plug right here, and this is for the starter signal. So there's a couple plugs. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing everything and show you exactly what it will look like and exactly what you need to keep and what you don't, so you can get an idea. This is a video that wasn't done before, and I want to cover as much details as possible. I don't want to make the video too long, but I wanted to inform of everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing everything and then show you exactly what's gonna come out of it and what is gonna go back in. So we got the charge harness out, and I'm quickly gonna show you what you actually gonna do. Like I said, there's gonna be a 10mm here, and here to remove the one off the alternator is actually gonna be a 12mm socket. Okay, so do take your time with it. It is a little bit tight. You can see here the copper one right there. So take your time taking that off. Comes around this way, okay, and that's gonna go right into the fuse box. And we actually gonna go ahead and take it off here from the fuse box. Let's see if I can pop it off one hand. No promises. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and take those off, and that's gonna be the whole charge harness. And after, we're gonna go ahead and take all of this apart and show you exactly what you need to do and what exactly you're gonna need and not need. But you can see we're gonna be getting rid of all this junk of stuff, and you're gonna see the difference that we're gonna make right here. All right, there we go, guys. We have the charge harness off, and we're gonna go ahead and start taking this apart and show you exactly what you're gonna need. And quickly, we're gonna need, this is gonna be a starter signal. So you can see here, it'll go from one point to the other. And I'll show you exactly how everything's gonna go back. We're gonna need this plug. We're gonna need the alternator plug, and then as well as our AC compressor plug. That is gonna be it. Oh, and as well this one right here, okay? So that is gonna be for your knock sensor, if I'm not mistaken correctly. So we'll go ahead and start taking it apart and show you step by step how we're gonna go ahead and make this look really good. And then after, we're gonna go ahead and run our charge harness wire here. All right, guys, okay. So here we are fully done, and this is exactly what we should have left of the OEM charge harness. Again, you don't have to go in full detail like this. I just want to take my time, clean it up really nice. So we have all three of the plugs right here, and we have this one. So we're gonna go ahead and throw it back on the car and finishing up the wire. There we go, guys. So you can see here, we went and put the knock sensor, the one for the starter right there, right? And then we have our compressor right at the bottom and our alternator right there on top. So very clean. The other wire's gonna go there. Oh, you can't see it right there. And this one right here, this will plug right up to your engine harness. So do keep that in mind. You make sure you plugged everything back as you see it. So we're gonna go ahead and finish putting the charge harness that we have here and finish cleaning this mess that we have. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the final piece of the charge harness. So we went ahead and put the 10mm back in here, and yes, you can see it has a little nice dust cover. And then we have, let me show you the light here, which will be a little bit better. And then we have the one for the starter. See if it'll focus. There you go. I just gotta put the 12mm nut back on there. So see how clean it looks. It's not focusing. Focus. All right, so there you go. And then we ran the other wire going to the fuse box. We ran it here across. We hit it. You can see here, actually you can see the mesh. We ran it around, nice and tucked away, and then bam. So we're gonna go ahead and lift this up. See if I can do it with one hand again. There we go. Clean, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and show you how the final piece. So the last thing we gotta do is we gotta put our transmission ground. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this one right here and just pretty much put it anywhere that's a ground. It's not really anywhere specific, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the 17 out of there, and there's a big terminal and a small one, so keep that in mind. So we're gonna go ahead and finish that off. But other than that, guys, this thing does not want to focus. All right, so there we go. So other than that, it is super fire clean. Oh, and don't forget to put your battery ground. I'm not gonna put it just yet because I don't have to get anything of the stuff for the car to turn on at the moment. But make sure you tighten this back up. It is gonna be at 13, as well as that's gonna be at 13. But just to give you a finished product look, you can see. And then again, out to your alternator, out to your starter, and then bam, out to your fuse box. And you do got to take these little wires apart, like I said. But other than that, guys, we took the battery from here, we relocated over there, and we're able to clean this. Even this, I got to take this off from here and be able to clean this whole shenanigans that the H-Gen normally has here.